The big news from late Wednesday night, the Toronto Raptors have acquired former NBA All-Star, former Most Improved Player, Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk. That 2026 top 4 protected pick that was acquired from Indiana in the Pascal Siakam trade. And a second-round pick will be going to New Orleans as well. That leads us to a chat with our Raptors reporter, Josh Lewenberg. Josh, always great to see you. However, I know already from following you on social media that you are not a fan of this deal. You have the floor, my friend. Tell us why.
How much time do we have? I mean, let's start with the player himself. I think it's a strange fit. I mean, Ingram is an incredibly gifted scorer, one of the best pure scorers in the NBA, and a much improved playmaker as well. But he is an inconsistent shooter, an inconsistent defender, and he does most of his work offensively from the mid-range, which of course is where Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett operate. On top of all of that, he hasn't played more than 64 games since his rookie season, so he hasn't proven that he could stay healthy, and he hasn't proven that you could win with him either. He's won 2 playoff games in 9 years, so it's a strange fit, but it's also strange timing. This is a team that's 16-35 now. They're in the first full year of a rebuild. They've preached patience and staying the course, and this is anything but that. This feels like a very short-sighted, desperate attempt to expedite the process. So this is essentially a big bet, I would say, on 27-year-old Brandon Ingram getting and staying healthy, re-signing over the summer at a reasonable cost, and I would assume that they have some assurances there, and then being a long-term fit with Scotty Barnes and the rest of the young core, a young core that's about to get really expensive, by the way. The cost for all of this was, as you mentioned, a first-round pick, which, it's Indiana's first-round pick, so it's not quite as bad as giving up their own pick, but this is not a team that's in position to be giving up first-round picks right now. And then the opportunity cost, and this is the most important part, I think, is the opportunity cost is a chance at Cooper Flagg, a real chance at Cooper Flagg, or another difference maker in a top-heavy 2025 draft, because assuming that Ingram plays this year, he's injured right now, but I assume that he's going to want to play at some point, and you probably want to get a look at him before paying him the kind of money he's going to want. Assuming he plays, there is way too much talent now on this roster to tank. So this is the second time in 3 years that the Raptors have been in prime position to chase a generational talent in the draft. The last time was Victor Wembanyama, and instead they've chosen to not only be surprise buyers at the deadline, but to trade a first-round pick at the deadline. So this is all very confusing, and as I said, a big bet on Brandon Ingram. So we'll see how it works out.
And as you alluded to, he is injured. He's played just 18 games this season, so Raptor fans and Raptor management are going to have to wait a little while before he makes his debut in a Raptor uniform.